So now we're going to make the French crepes with the apple filling. So we're going to start with the filling since it takes a little longer to cook. So we're going to use, this is red and green apples that we peel them and chop. I'm going to chop the last one. We have raisins, cinnamon, and we're going to cook with butter and some sugar. So let's get this done and put it on the pan. We get the center off and we cut them the size of a garlic. They don't need to be too big, but neither too small. So what I have on the stove, it's just one deep pan that it's already on, so it's actually warming up in medium. We have 4 apples there, and we have about half a stick of butter. So we're going to let them cook for 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes we're going to add the cinnamon and the raisins, so we can leave this to continue the work. So we're going to make the crepes. So we're going to use a cup of milk. You can also use sometimes like milk and half, but you definitely want whole milk, because if you have a lower fat, it's not going to have a nicer texture. So here we have a 1/4 cup of sugar. We have 3/4 cups to a cup of flour, 2 eggs, so you put everything at once and then you mix everything very well. To add a little bit of flavor, sometimes I put a touch of vanilla extract, or you can put lemon zest or orange zest, and this is delicious. So this needs to rest at least for half an hour in the fridge. So we're back. We have this pan that is hot. I am going to leave it on medium so they will not burn. We add a little bit of butter that melts quickly. And we're going to add a very thin layer of the butter for the crepes. So we just cook this for 30 seconds to a minute, and then we turn it. You can always use a spatula. Sometimes I use my hands, which you should not, but that's okay. So the crepes are cooking. When the sides, you can see that it's getting a little bit cooked. That means that they are ready to turn. I usually touch from the border and turn with my hands. Sometimes you can flip them. Sometimes I make a mess, sometimes it looks amazing. We leave them like 15 seconds and they are fully cooked. Since they are super thin, they don't need any time. See, got a nice sear and they are ready. So now our filling is almost ready. You can see it got a beautiful color and a nice texture. So we're going to add a big teaspoon and a half of our cinnamon. Mix a little bit. And half a cup of raisins. Stir a little bit and then turn it off and let it cool down. So it's ready for later. So we're going to go back to our small pan now. This is hot. The only thing we're going to add is sugar. So I'm going to make caramel figures. You can add as much as you want. On this case, I'm going to put about half a cup. And it's going to melt. You have to stir it a few times. You don't need to put anything. So when it gets a nice kind of brown color, and the sugar is fully melted, that's when the caramel is ready. So the nice trick or tip to make the figures is using a seal pad. It's this kind of plastic that looks like nothing special, but it makes whatever you want to use very special. The nice thing is that it doesn't stick, so I can make the caramel and then it comes off very easy, and I can make anything using caramel or even bake cookies, and it looks very nice. So we can keep stirring this. Our caramel is ready. I let it rest for a few minutes and it has a nice thick texture. So we're going to make a few like easy figures on the seal pad, like circles and then some lines, and let it cool. It takes very little amount of time. So you can do whatever you want. Sometimes I write my name, sometimes I just put like, I don't know, drizzles of, you know, anything, and you make any shape you want. This is like the easiest one, so I always like throw a little bit. So while this is cooling down, we're going to start making our dish. So we have here our crepes. We're going to add a nice tablespoon of the filling of the apple cinnamon raisin. We can fold it in 4, so we do a half and then we fold it again, so it's like a nice quarter size. So this packet we can put either side in the middle of the plate. Always a touch of powdered sugar makes it look beautiful and very sophisticated. We have here a touch of vanilla ice cream. And we're going to put some beautiful fresh mint. I have here liquid caramel. Liquid caramel, it's the same caramel that I make for the figures, but you have water that you add and then you mix for a little bit for a few minutes until it gets also thicker, but the texture is completely different. Go back to the figures. So as I mentioned, it's on the seal pad and they are not sticky at all, so they are hard caramel. They look beautiful, and as you saw, it took me no effort to make a beautiful shape. That looks sophisticated and it's very simple. Bon appetit!